What about this moment? Can it be known or realized the truth of it? We just talk about many other moments, not now, but shall we start or begin to understand what is there? It's so true, it appears, but what is it? This is the beginning of understanding the truth of Dharma. Whatever is real is now. So what is the absolute truth of what is there appearing now? Is there anything or something there or nothing? This can be known by oneself to understand what Buddha taught about the truth, the absolute truth of whatever is there in one's life from life to life. Even they are there, they are not known as they are at all. That's why it's time to consider what is the right understanding. Is understanding what is there as it is. Because each moment, whatever appears is life in a moment, from moment to moment. Understanding life is understanding what is there as it is. Otherwise, there's no understanding of what we take for life at all. So what is there now, this very moment? Otherwise, it wouldn't be known from time to time, no understanding of what is there. Just heard about it. But what is there appearing? Nothing?
Touching.
Or something? Or what?
Touching.
Touching?
Touching.
Yes. Did you say touching?
Yes.
Okay. What is touching? What? That is touching for sure. But what is it? Which touch?
Hardness.
Hardness is the object which is touched.
Yeah.
But what touch it? Is there anything?
Hardness from this chair.
Yes, but hardness is experienced. Otherwise, it does not show up as it's hard at all. But any moment when hardness appears, it means that there must be a reality which experiences its hardness. Yeah, so that is the idea of that is hardness. But what experiences it?
Consciousness.
Yes, we call it consciousness, but usually we think of I all the time, taking that which experiences as I. Because if there's nothing arising and appearing at all, there wouldn't be anything at all. But now it's not just like that. Something all the time from moment to moment, because there is a reality which arises and experience what is seen, what is heard, what is thought about, and so on. Because that which arises and cannot experience anything, cannot know anything at all. Because its nature is just to arise to be hard. Hardness cannot experience anything, but it's there experienced by a reality which is not I, but they are conditioned for that moment to arise to here, and it is a reality which can experience an object. That's why it's there all the time in one's life, no matter when and where, but no interest to understand it as it is arising and falling away, conditioned to hear or to see or to think, different moment, different ones. That's why actually there's no permanent thing, no being as I or dog or cat or anything. Each moment there must be the reality which arises to experience. So the world appear and there are many objects seen or heard and touched. That's all. Is that not true? This is the beginning of having confidence of actually what one takes it for I of things for years and for eons ago Actually, it's not there anymore, even just a moment ago. Never be the same. That's why having confidence of the truth of realities are realities and they are different by the natures. One can experience an object and the other cannot experience anything at all.
Yeah.
It's hard, it's smell, and so on. So now, if there is no understanding of this moment as it is, no one, how can there be the moment of experiencing the truth, the absolute truth of what is there in anywhere, anytime, even right now? That's why there is understanding and ignorance, attachment and detachment, not by anyone at all, but by understanding the truth. And understanding is a reality. When there's no understanding, what is there? Ignorance. The reality which is now experiencing the object without any understanding. And that is real, it's a nature, it's an absolute reality, which is avijja, is no, and vicha is understanding. No understanding at all of what is there as it is, because it's there arising in falling way in split seconds. But the truth can be discerned, it can be realized, it can be directly experienced because it's there now. What is there can be directly experienced of its truth. But we have to understand it from the very beginning. Ignorance cannot understand that. Whatever is there, when it experiencing an object, no one there. So the seeing or the hearing which experiences an object is I, because there's no one else there. That's why there is the idea of I, so very strongly accumulated, eons and eons ago. That's why when we hear the truth about whatever is there, there should be moment of considering the truth of it. When it's true, it has to be true. No one can change it.
So it's always Nama and Rupa, the beginning.
That's it.
Yeah.
But it's easy to say that it's Nama because it experiences an object, but the reality,
Yeah.
which has no form, no shape, no smell, no color, just arise and experiencing only one object and then fall away instantly. It's not very easy to penetrate its truth as no one and no thing because it's completely gone, never to arise again in samsara, only once and then gone, never to return. That's the meaning of anatta, no self and no thing, only a reality conditioned to arise to be different moments and then gone, permanent, never to return at all. Is it not true? When it's true, it can be discerned little by little. It can be understood, and it is so firm that this very moment, it's the reality which experiences an object any moment unexpectedly, because who can know the future that hasn't come yet?
Yeah.
What would be conditioned to be object of experiencings by so many conditions?
Yeah.
Not at anyone's will or expectation at all. It can be proven right now. Who knows the next moment?
Yeah.
And when it's so firm, it can condition the direct understanding of what is now appearing. By conditions, by then there's no doubt about different degrees of understanding. The very weak and then the strong one, because the object can appear clear to that moment, to the understanding, which understand it clearly as it is, as it is. Experiencing arises and experience, no shape, no form at all. And what is experienced can be anything appearing because of the experiencing has experienced it. That's all. This is life from birth to death and on again, as long as there are conditions for anything to arise, it has to arise. But when there's no conditions for that reality to arise, they cannot arise at all. Impossible to make anything arise, because what is there has arisen by conditions. So no need to think about the future or try to know the other thing, not now. But this very moment can be object of understanding as anatta. Seeing right now while we're talking, who condition is arising? No one, but their conditions. The rapidity of a moment of experiencing. So very, very rapidly, that there's no understanding of the arising and falling away of anyone. That's why it has to begin from understanding what is there one by one, as this one is not that one, different ones by different conditions, and whatever arises, gone instantly.
Yeah.
That's all. To understand reality, to understand Dhamma, study Dhamma, is understand what is now appearing, which we are talking about. So there can be the understanding of the truth little by little. For example, the arising and falling away of realities are so very, very rapidly. That's why only one can it be known. Can it be directly known? Just only one. When you talk about this moment, how many moments in split second of one moment?
Yeah.
That's why we understand what's meant by the enlightenment, to realize the truth as is now, as it is. But attachment and ignorance covers up the truth. No thought, no idea, no thinking about the truth of it at all. Just like that, being attached to that which appears, because not understanding that it's gone completely, absolutely, never to arise again. So it's only ignorance and clinging because of ignorance, not understanding that what is the object of attachment is not there in samsara.